Ah, the Saga of the Volsungs. So strap in, this is a wild one. And this story could make George R. Martin blush with its complications, plot twists, and sheer perversity. Now, to keep things from running long, I'll cut off the first part of the story, which details the life of Odin's son Siggy, who begat Rerir, who begat Volsung. Now, Volsung grew up to inherit his father's lands, and he proved himself a bold warrior, even scoring a marriage with a hot Valkyrie trophy wife, who happens to be the daughter of a frost giant. Now, together, the happy couple had 10 sons, the eldest being named Sigmund, and one daughter, Sigmund's twin sister Signy. And the sons of Volsung have a lot of adventures and do great deeds, which I won't recount. Eventually, Volsung builds his family a great hall with the tree Barnstoker in the center. And one day, a neighboring king, Sigurd, shows up and asks for Signy's hand in marriage. Now, Signy finds Sigurd pretty repulsive, but Volsung naturally agrees to give the slime ball his daughter's hand in marriage. On the happy couple's wedding day, a one-eyed hooded stranger shows up. I wonder who that could be. And he thrusts a sword in the tree, and whoever pulleth this sword from this stone or tree shall receive it as a gift. Of course, everyone tries, and of course, Sigmund is the only one who can do so, gaining himself a +5 magic sword. Now, poor Signy's then shipped off to live with Sigurd, who finds out that the whole marriage thing is just a sham to gain control of Volsung's kingdom. She then informs her dad, Volsung, and he forms an army and invades Sigurd's kingdom. And after a long, grim battle, Volsung and one of his sons are killed, and the rest of the clan are taken prisoner by Sigurd. Now, rather than kill them outright, the evil king ties the brothers up and throws them into a dark, dark wood, where a great she-wolf visits them every night, consuming one of the brothers. Eventually, only Sigmund remains, and he's waiting to meet his doom, when a servant of Signy arrives and tells him to smear himself down with honey and put more honey in his mouth. When the wolf arrives, she licks the honey off of him, and then tries to slip him the tongue to get the honey out of Sigmund's mouth. Sigmund bites off the wolf's tongue, killing her. Things get more sexually weird when Signy and Sigmund get caught in a case of mistaken identity and end up having an incestuous relationship. Now, the offspring of this weird union is the son Sinfjotli. When he turns 10, he's sent to Sigmund. In a case of tough love, Sigmund takes the boy in, and they wander through the forest acting as bandits and killing people for money. Finally, the two decide to seek vengeance and kill Sigurd, but they're captured while trying to do so, and they're thrown into a burial mound sealed with a great stone. Now, before their imprisonment, however, Signy was able to slip Sigmund his magic sword, and he's able to cut his way through the stone and to freedom. Finally, they confront the king and burn his hall around him. Now, Signy, ever the drama queen, chooses to burn up with her husband, the evil Sigurd. Now, this doesn't make much sense, but I guess it's there to make the story more colorful. With their family gone, Sigmund and his son finally return home, where he finds a new wife, Borghold. Now, these two have a son, Helgi, and Helgi and his half-brother Sinfjotli eventually find women from neighboring kingdoms that they wish to marry. However, to do so means more war. Sinfjotli accidentally kills his stepmom's brother in the war, and she gets her revenge by poisoning Sinfjotli. Finally, overcome with sorrow, Sigmund exiles his treacherous wife. Sigmund then marries a second wife, Hjordis, and as per usual, this causes more war, in which Odin gets involved. Sigmund eventually squares off against his great-great-grandfather, and in an epic battle, his sword is shattered, and Sigmund is mortally wounded. With his last words, he, trope alert, entrusts the shards of his sword to his son. Sigmund then heads off to Valhalla, and Hjordis gives birth to another son, Sigurd. Sigurd's raised by Regin, a stepfather-tutor-mentor trope, and is given his father's lightsaber, Granny, a wondrous horse who is a descendant of Odin's horse, Sleipnir. Now, as a side quest in all this, the god of chaos, Loki, kills and eats one of Regin's brothers, Otter, who, you guessed it, turns into an otter, and Regin's dad demands Weirgold for the Weir Otter. So Loki gives the family a pile of dwarven treasure that contains a cursed piece of jewelry. I'll let you guess if the cursed jewelry was a tennis bracelet or a ring. Now, Regin's other brother, Fafnir, overcome with greed, kills their father and is turned into a dragon by the ring. Regin then convinces Sigurd to avenge his father and take Fafnir's hoard. Now, Sigurd's mother gives him the shards of Sigmund's broken sword, which Regin then reforges into the mighty sword Graham. And after several more quests, Sigurd gets around to slaying Fafnir. He does this by digging a series of ditches and hiding in them. As Fafnir crosses over them, Sigurd stabs him from below with Graham. Now, Regin, having a hankering for some dragon heart, asks Sigurd to roast one up for him. As Sigurd does this, he scorches his fingers and puts them in his mouth, and suddenly realizes he can understand bird talk. So a friendly nuthatch tells him that Regin is going to kill him. So Sigurd kills Regin, finishes off the tasty heart, and loads up the dragon's hoard, including the cursed ring, onto Granny, his horse. Now, as the heart-eating seems to have gotten him rather randy, he sets off to find a good woman. He eventually ends up in France, where he finds a sleeping warrior woman in ultra-tight chainmail. He cuts the chainmail off, and she wakes up and tells him that she's the Valkyrie Brynhild. She falls in love with him, gives him a beer, and gives him secrets to being a more sociable type guy. The love-struck couple then agree to marry someday. Now, Sigurd gets back to adventuring and eventually comes to the keep of the sorceress Grimhild. She gives him a drink to forget Brunhild, and he marries her daughter, Gorun, and they have a son, Sigmund. Meanwhile, Grimhild's son, Gunnar, decides to marry Brunhild, and he tricks her into doing this. Now, after several years, Brunhild finally figures she's been tricked, and she becomes ever so pissed off. Sigurd tries to console her, but she has none of it. Now, realizing that the jig is up for the Grimhild clan, one of Grimhild's other sons stabs Sigurd in his sleep, though the mortally wounded Sigurd is able to wake up and throw his sword Gram at him, cutting his enemy in two. Sigurd is then placed on a pyre and gets lit up, and a grieving Brynhild throws herself on the bonfire, and off the happy dead couple go to Valhalla. Now, the story continues from there, going on and on and on, but I think you get the gist of it. The rest of it involves more revenge, more mistaken identity, a guy playing a harp with his toes while bound in a snake pit, and Gorun marrying Attila the Hun. Alrighty, this week's game is Saga, and it was published in 1980 by TSR, Tactical Studies Rules, the folks that put out the original Dungeons & Dragons, and its designer was Steve Marsh. So let's go through the rules on this. The game components consist of counters. Now, printed on many of the counters of the game are two numbers, a combat factor and a movement factor, and the combat factor is used when determining the outcome of a battle. The movement factor is the number of areas on the map through which a counter may move in one turn. Now, there's counters for heroes, jarls, magic weapons, magic treasures, trolls, ghosts, drow, giants, witches, and dragons. The map's divided into areas, and each area has a taxation factor, a number pair, and a name. Now, the taxation factor indicates how rich the area will be as a part of a kingdom, and the number pairs used for randomly locating the counters on the map. Now, to set the game up, you divide the counters into 4 piles, and you keep the heroes separate. And the 4 piles, all face down, should be monsters, jarls, magic weapons, and magic treasures. And each player chooses a hero counter and then picks a magic sword from the face-down pile. And after this, all the rest of the magic swords are put aside. The beginning number of monster counters is equal to the number of players in the game, and they're picked at random from the face-down pile of monsters. Now, for each of these monsters, you roll 2 die, one after the other, and you place that monster in the area indicated. And monsters are placed on the board face up. Now, a number of Jarl counters equal to the number of players in the game is also picked at random from the Jarl pile, and these are placed face down in random countries by rolling 2 die for each Jarl counter in the same manner that you place the monsters. Now, more than one Jarl or monster can be placed in the same area. Heroes begin the game in a randomly determined area, and this is found again in the same manner as the monsters and the Jarls. And this area is noted on the record sheet, as it's sometimes necessary to know where a hero's home country is. Each player should have a record sheet similar to that included in the rules, and on this sheet the player keeps track of the hero's wealth, their glory, and their luck. And each player begins the game with 3 points of luck, but no glory or wealth. Now note that all of these amounts will change as the game progresses, but none may ever go below 0. First in sequence play is movement, in which both players, heroes and jarls, move. Now the hero with the most glory and or his or jarls move first, and in case of ties, the players roll die to see which of their heroes goes first. Then combat occurs, and this occurs after all the heroes and jarls have moved, and it's in the same order as movement. Heroes engage in combat, and jarls can be recruited after combat. Next comes administration of kingdoms and taxes, and heroes and jarls collect taxes from the areas in the hero's kingdom, if there are any. Next, you place monsters, and the number of monsters equal to the number of heroes in play are randomly placed face up, just as they did at the beginning of the game. And this is done every turn until all the counters are used, and dead monsters can't be reused. Next, jarls are placed, and the number of jarls equal to the number of heroes are placed just as you did in the beginning of the game. And like the monsters, dead jarls cannot be reused. And then finally you mark off the turn. And at the end of the 20th turn, the game's over and the players total their glory to determine who won the game. So let's go into this in a little more detail, and we'll first start talking about movement. Now, a counter can move as many areas as its movement factor, and each area is defined by a color, or in the case of sea areas, by dividing lines. And counters can move and remain in sea areas just as if they were on land. There's no difference between land and sea movement. And movement's always voluntary, except for certain combat results. And counters do not have to move their full movement rate, so they can choose to move any amount of regions from 0 to their total movement. Now, all or none of the player's counters, that's the heroes and jarls, can move. And now, as long as a counter's moving, it can ignore all other counters. Thus, a counter representing a hero could pass through areas containing other heroes, monsters, or jarls without having to fight or otherwise interact with any of them. But however, when a counter chooses to fight, it does end its movement for that turn. Now, counters can move from one area to an adjacent area, even if that second area is adjacent only by a corner, which occurs in only a few places on the board. Finally, a counter's movement can be affected by magical treasure or the gods. Now, the next phase of a turn is combat, and combat occurs after all players have moved, and it's resolved in the same sequence as the movement. That is, a descending order of glory points that are totaled at the beginning of each turn. Now, combat can only be conducted between counters in the same area, and it's resolved using the following procedure. First, you determine the attacker and defender, and you roll for any drow, witch, or ghost magic spells if they're applicable, and you modify the die roll with luck. Then you total all other modifiers to combat, including runes, gods, spells, and magic items. You roll a die, and you check the combat results table to determine the outcome of the battle after adding all the modifiers to the die roll. You apply this combat result, and then you check to see if any god noticed the battle. Now, this is always optional. So let's go into these in a little more detail. Now, the person whose turn it is automatically considered the attacker, while those being attacked are considered defenders. And while combat's handled one area at a time, the order of areas is at the discretion of the attacker. Now, heroes must attack at least one monster if there's a monster in an area that they are in during the combat portion of the turn. If there's more than one monster, they can choose which one they want to fight, and they may attack more than one monster in an area. Heroes also attack other heroes and jarls, in which case the defending hero or jarl can call for aid to any other counters in the area that's controlled by that player. The attacker must then attack not only the first counter, but all of the counters who come to the aid of the first counter attacked as well. And heroes can also attack areas. They use the area's tax factor as a combat strength, and I'll give a little more detail on this when I talk about kingdoms and taxes. Finally, heroes can attack any combination of the above. Now, any counter may be attacked by any number of other counters, but there is a limitation for that each counter may attack outward only once during a combat turn. Now, drow, witch, and ghost can use magic spells, and these spells take effect before the combat die roll and can modify the results of combat. Now, ghost will only cast a spell if they roll a 1, 2, or 3. Now, drow, the evil dark elves, will roll a die, and they will cast a spell that has the number that's rolled. Witches will roll 2 die and cast 2 spells, one of each of the numbers rolled. And if the same spell is indicated on each die, it will be cast twice, and the effects of that spell will be applied twice. Before the dice rolled, the heroes who are involved in the battle, or who have jarls involved in the battle, can modify the die roll up or down 1 with each point of luck expended before the dice rolled. Now, if there are 2 or more heroes involved in a battle, they should each write how much luck they're using to modify the die roll before revealing the amount simultaneously. And luck points used in this way are always lost, even if the addition or subtraction made no difference in the roll. Now, when you actually roll the die roll, you add all the modifiers to combat. That's the runes, the gods, the magic items, spells, and luck. And you check the combat results table. Then you subtract the total of the defender's combat strength and the defender's modifiers. Finally, you'll apply the combat results. And now, if it's a lowercase k, that means the attacker's been killed, and you remove the counters representing that attacker from the board, and the attacker will not return. If it's a lowercase w, the attacker's been wounded, and any jarls on the attacking side are removed from the board and placed upside down in their respective piles, from which they can re-enter play normally. Now, there's no further effect from being wounded, except the jarls that re-enter play after being wounded are considered unrecruited jarls. If it's a lowercase f, the attacker flees, and the attacker must immediately move away from the defender at maximum speed in the direction of the defender's choice. And if the defender's not a player in the game, the attacker must move towards the hero's home country. If the attacker's in the hero's home country, the next player to attack may move the attacker's counters in any direction that they wish. If it's a lowercase n, that indicates no result. The fight breaks off without a definitive decision, and all counters remain in the area. Now, if it's a uppercase F, the defender flees, and they immediately move in maximum movement away from the attacker in the direction the attacker indicates. Uppercase W is a defender wounded. The jarls and monsters on the defending side are removed from the board, and they're placed in their respective piles, and they can re-enter play normally. And finally, if it's a uppercase K, the defender's killed, and you remove the counters representing the defender from the board, and they will not return. Now, the last subphase of the battle is to check to see if any gods have noticed the battle. And each player in the battle rolls 1 die to see if this is done. Now, this is always optional. If the player rolls a 1, or a 1 or 2 if the player's hero has the rune Asmer and was involved in the battle, then the battle is noticed, and the effects of the gods noticing a battle are covered in the gods' rules. If wounded, a hero can heal the wounds by returning to their home country and spending 1 turn healing there. And any hero who receives another wound while having an unhealed wound dies. Now, if a hero's died, the player can do several things. First, they can withdraw from play and total up their glory as if the game was over. And the player then hopes that none of the other players will exceed that total in the remaining turns. Second, they can restart the hero, and a restarted hero gets 3 points of luck and the magic weapon of the old hero, but it gets none of the former hero's glory, jarls, or wealth. And finally, they can transfer all of the hero's luck to one of the hero's jarls and play that jarl as a new hero. Now, the player loses all accumulated glory, but they keep their luck, their jarls, their kingdom, and their magic items, subject to the item being recovered, as in magic swords. Now, magic treasures are found with dragons, and when a dragon appears, you place one of the magic treasure counters under it. And all magic treasures are kept face down on the board underneath whoever has them at the moment, and a single counter can have any number of magic treasures. Now, the last 2 dragons have 20 marks of gold instead of the magic treasure itself. Now, only a jarl is recruited by a hero who beats them in combat and then expends a point of luck. And only jarls can be recruited this way, not monsters or other heroes. Jarls are placed face down when they're recruited, and to recruit that jarl, a player enters the area and turns them face up. They then combat the jarl, and if they beat the jarl in combat with an uppercase F, W, or K result, the hero can then expend 1 point of luck to successfully recruit that jarl. Otherwise, the jarl suffers the actual combat results, and wounded jarls are removed from the board, and unwounded jarls are flipped back over. Now, jarls can aid a hero in attacking and recruiting other jarls, but they can't recruit without the hero being present in that area. Now, jarls can also move independently of the hero, and they can be used to increase the combat strengths in battle, as well as to collect taxes from areas. And if a recruited jarl kills a monster or a hero by themselves, the luck or glory that's also accumulated goes to that jarl's master. The recruited jarls can also add countries to their hero's kingdom. Finally, no hero can have more than 4 jarls recruited at any one time. Now, to start a kingdom, a hero moves into any country that's not had an Is spell cast upon it, and the player then successfully has to attack that country using the area's tax factor as a combat factor. And a successful attack is an attack that yields an uppercase F, W, or K result. Now, note that a hero may have to attack other counters in the area at the same time that they attack the country. After the heroes set the country in order and the attack is carried out in the combat portion of the turn, and that counts as the attack, taxes then can be collected for every subsequent turn that the hero or one of his jarls spends in that country. Now, all taxes are collected in golden marks, and the number of gold marks raised each turn is equal to the number of the country's tax factor. Now, if a country's left for a turn without the hero or one of their jarls in it, country's overrun by bandits, wild animals, or other evil creatures, it produces no tax income, and it has to be subdued again by a successful attack on the combat results table. When heroes are in an area where taxes are collected, they can immediately add those taxes to their hoard. If a jarl's present, but the hero is not, then the hero has to move into or through the hex containing the jarl to add them to the hoard. And jarls can travel with any taxes that they collect. If a jarl's killed after collecting taxes, but before the hero has placed the taxes into their hoard, the killer gets the taxes. And if the killer is a jarl, the taxes cannot be added to the other hero's hoard until that hero and the jarl are in the same area at the same time. And taxes are transferred merely by placing the counters in the same area at the same point during movement. Now, any hero, but not a jarl with taxes on them, that is slain yields no treasure to the slayer. A little bit of other information. Swords can be used by any hero, or they can be lent to their jarls. And if a jarl in question is wounded or slain, the sword will remain in the area where the jarl was wounded or slain until someone comes and picks it up. That is, ends their movement in the area with the sword. Now, specifics on swords, spells, magic treasures, and gods are in the rules. I'm not going to belabor those. Quick note on runes. When a hero kills a drow, a ghost, or a witch for the first time, they learn a single magic rune. And a rune's a poem or song that, when recited, produces a magical effect. Now, each hero can learn only one during the entire game. And to find out which rune the hero has learned, the player should roll on the rune table. Now, more than one hero can have the same rune, but no hero can have more than it. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, the game lasts for 20 turns, and the objective is to amass as much glory as possible in that time. And if a hero's gained at least 15 points of glory, they'll be accepted into Valhalla. And now each time a hero or a jarl of a hero slays a monster, the hero either gets a certain number of glory points or a certain number of luck points, according to the following table. Now, when a hero or their jarls slay another hero or jarl, the hero receives glory or luck points equal to 1/2 the combat factor of the hero or jarl slain, rounding down. Now, note that these points can't be split between glory and luck. If you wound a monster, a jarl, or a hero, 1/2 of the luck or glory points rounded down that would be gained for slaying those counters are gained for wounding them. Now, if during battle a hero is forced to flee, they automatically lose 2 points of glory, but obviously they can't be below 0 here. Now, each time a jarl is recruited by a hero, the hero gains 1/2 of the jarl's combat factor, rounding down as either luck or glory points. And each jarl that's slain while in the service of a hero removes either a number of luck or glory points equal to 1/2 the jarl's combat factor. And the player has the choice of this. Now, adding up glory points at the end of the game, each jarl is worth in glory an additional 1/2, rounding down, of their combat factor to the hero that they're serving. And also gold and luck can be converted to glory points. Now, every 10 gold marks in the hero's hoard is worth 1 point of glory, and every 3 points of luck remaining at the end is worth 1 point of glory. Alrighty, this week's game is Saga, and I've gone ahead and pulled 3 characters. I've got Brunhild, Siegfried, and Ragnar, the Red. And I'll be playing with these. Now all the characters have the same statistics, so they all start even with combat factors and movement. Now I need to pull some swords, and I'm going to pull Tyrfing for Siegfried, we'll pull Graham for Brunhild, and Balmug for Ragnar. Now, I think Balmug has a special ability, and it adds, let's see, the sword adds +1 to the user's combat factor, which we've got. In any fight where its user's attacking a side using magic armor, it cancels out that magic armor. Okay, so I'm going to put, they have these little record sheets. I think I'm going to have to put the little note here. We'll say Balmug cancels magic armor. Now the rules to this are pretty basic, so you'll have to kind of bear with me. I'm going to put their luck in too. Everybody starts out with 3 luck. And so yeah, bear with me on the rules, because sometimes you have some that just doesn't say much. For instance, it doesn't really mention if jarls can add to combat. So I say they can. Let's see, Tyrfing. Which makes these guys get pretty powerful pretty quickly. So again, I'm not sure. You could play it either way. I think if you wanted a little more challenging game, you could say that the jarls don't, or add half or something. But for this playthrough, we'll just be fairly generous. The game runs a little long, too, which is one issue. So 20 turns lasts quite a while. But the cool thing is you kind of have a beginning game, a mid game, and an end game with this, where things get kind of change a little bit, how play styles change a little bit with that. Okay, I think I've got everybody. Let's get Brunhild her country, and you're going to roll 2d6, and we get a 3-2. So Saxony is her home, and it doesn't mention whether those home countries are kingdoms or not. I'm going to say they're not. Right now you're just a humble hero, so you're going to have to attack your home country to rule it. Okay, so I think I've got her all set up. Let's start with Siegfried here, and he's at 1-3. Let's see, up here, Mordeland. Also, my pronunciations won't be too good, but or Mordeland, I guess it's Mordeland. And then Ragnar is at 3-2. Oh, Brunhild's already got that one. We'll just roll it again. 1-3. Oh, wow. Mordeland's got that one. Okay, let's do it again. 2-6. 2-6. Scandia. Scandia. Okay, Scandia. There's a town actually not too far from where I live here called Scandia. That's, say it like a Kansan. It's not. There's also Norway up there too. A lot of folks, Scandinavian folks, that live around here, and some, or used to at least. Not so much anymore, but okay. I think we got those guys set up. Let's go ahead and set up our monsters, and we're going to draw 3 monsters. One. Let's just start. Okay, that's going to be Geezer. Geezer the Geezer. 2/4. He's a drow. Drow. Let me know down below how you say that. I'm always kind of interested. I know it's about half and half. And okay, 2/2 is going to be Hall, a giant. He's at Vestergotland. And the third one is 3/3, and that's Grendel. Grendel's at 3/3. Anglia. Okay. Now we're going to add some Jarls. 6/5 is going to be the first Jarl at Ulster. Second Jarl's at 1/4. And the third Jarl's at 4/4. So Jarls are a little better distributed than the monsters. So it's going to make the first couple turns interesting here. Okay, I think I've got everything set up here. Let me get a turn marker set up. And we're just going to have to roll to see first turn order. So we're just going to roll for Brunhild gets a 4, Ragnar gets a 2, and Siegfried gets a 1. So we'll just go north to south here, or south to north. So Brunhild is going to work her way over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Ragnar has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to move up here. And Siegfried is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to Caledonia. And so that's the movement portion. Combat, there's only going to be one combat, and that's going to be Ragnar's going to do a Jarl recruitment here. So we're going to look at his record sheet. He's got 3 points of luck. Really need a Jarl. So I'm going to spend the... let's see what the Jarl is first. And I think you can go ahead and flip. Thorolf. So... we've got a 5, a 6 to 3, so we outrank him by 3. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 luck points, bringing my luck down to 1, and attempt to recruit him. Okay, we roll 1d6, 2, and... so we had a roll of 2 and a difference of 3. So no effect. So we don't need to burn that luck point to recruit because we didn't get enough. And so everybody just stays the same here, other than I burn 2 luck points. I think at this point I will call upon the gods. And I think you can do that after any sort of combat or, well... I don't know why you do it after recruitment. That doesn't quite make sense. I don't think the rules address that, but I'm going to say you can't. That you have to be a little more brave than just recruiting a Jarl. Okay. Now, we're going to go into, let's check our turn sequence here. So we place our monsters, then we place our Jarls. Doesn't really matter the order of that one. I think I sometimes place those the other way just because Jarls come first. So we've got 3 Jarls we add. We've got one at 5/1. Mercia. We've got one at 5/5. And then we've got one at 2/5. In Jutland, okay. 3 monsters. We're going to add 1 at 2/2. Where's 2/2? 2/2. Okay, Vestergotland. Another troll there. 1/5. Halborn, that troll, and 1/4. Harap, a ghost, at 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's in here. Okay. Okay, so now in order to even try to recruit, I'd have to take the ghost out. So I think that's that. Okay, and turn sequence. We've placed our Jarls. We can mark our turn to turn 2. Okay, turn 2. We'll roll to see who goes first. Brunhild gets a 5. Siegfried gets a 4. And Ragnar gets a 5. So we'll roll between Brunhild and Ragnar. Brunhild 4, Ragnar 2. Okay, so it's going to go Brunhild, Ragnar, Siegfried. And Brunhild's going to move over here. Ragnar is going to try to go down here and recruit. And Siegfried's going to try to go here and recruit. Okay, now we can do our recruitments. Brunhild is going to try to... We flip this guy, and I should be able to... Let's see. We're going to see if she can do it. Record sheet. We'll spend 2 luck points. And we roll a 7. Okay, which this is a difference of 7 to 3 or 4. Let's see here. We rolled a difference of 4, and we had 7. So 7 and 4, easy recruitment, and we have to spend a luck point. Now, you're going to gain a luck point back, and half of 3 is 1.5. You round down, so that's going to be 1. So basically, you spend a luck point, and then you gain a luck point. That's pretty common for this game. So if you hear me say spend a luck point, gain a luck point, that's what I mean. Okay, Wieland, and you could gain a glory point too, but you really it's pretty senseless to try to gain glory points early in the game, other than to get be able to move first. But I'm not sure that's a huge difference. Okay, so Brunhild is done. Okay, Siegfried going to be a little more. Going to spend 1 luck point, and flip Amleth. Okay, and we're going to roll. So the difference is going to be 7 to 2, or a difference of 5, and we're going to add 1 so to the roll. So we get a 2 and a 5. Yeah, that was a wound. So that actually got Amleth was recruited. Oh, and then to recruit, I've got to spend another luck point. And I'll say spend a luck point to recruit him, and then you gain a luck point. So I'll do that so it keeps it the same, and we can add Amleth. And so we have a Jarl there. Okay. And finally, poor Ragnar. Ragnar only has a luck point to spend. Basically, if he spends that attacking, he can just attack the Jarl to get some points. Let's see. Flip this Jarl. So we're going to do that. We're just going to spend a luck point. Well, he's got a 6, so he's got a 4. He would have to roll a 2 or better. I'm going to try to recruit, I think. So we're going to make the attack first. So that's 6 to 2, or difference of 4. And we roll a 6. Okay, so we rolled a 5. And I'm not adding a luck point. So 5. And there's a 6 here, and a difference of 4, which is going to do the trick. So we basically get Helgi. and we had to spend a luck point, gain a luck point. So we got our follower. Okay, things look a little better for Ragnar. Okay, now we add our Jarls. And let's see, where are we going to put these Jarls? First of all, 6-1 in Pictland, 3-4 in Finland, and 5-2, not to be confused with the other Finland, 5-2 Dafydd in Wales. Okay, and then our 3 monsters, 3-2, and this is our first dragon, so he gets a treasure. Second is 4-6, East Anglia, Geirdrak the Witch, and 4-3, Cornwall, Grunhild. Okay, so it could be Brunhild versus Grunhild here. And that's going to end the turn. So we got a turn 3. Okay, who's going to go first? We'll just roll. Siegfried gets a 3. Brunhild gets a 3. All 3 got a 3. So re-roll. 5 for Siegfried, 1 for Brunhild, and 1 for Ragnar. So we'll roll between those 2. 3 for Ragnar, and 1. So we'll go Siegfried, Ragnar, Brunhild. Siegfried's going to try to do another recruitment. Ragnar is going to Helgi can move 3. 1, 2, 3, or we could go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move down here and try to recruit. And Brunhild is going to go here and recruit. Okay, so we'll start here with Siegfried. We flip over for Wiggler. I like the name, or Viglar. I like Wiggler better. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 3, so we've got a +6. So we got a 5+. Basically, anything we roll is going to recruit. So we will just roll without spending any luck points, and we get a 3. So a 3 would be a killed, which we're going to spend our luck point, and basically again spend the luck point, gain the luck point. So we now have Wiggler. Okay. And don't have a lot of monsters up here yet. Okay, we go down to Ragnar and we flip. 5, 6, 7, 8 to 3, so difference of 5. Again, don't think I'm gonna spend any additional luck. We roll a 2, and that's a wound, so that's enough to recruit him, and then we're gonna lose 1, gain 1. So we now have Yarki as our second Jarl. Okay. And then Brunhild. We have Torvald. 9 to 2, so difference is 7. Again, not going to spend anything. And 3, so 3 is a killed, so that's enough for her to add Torvald. Okay. And then we're going to add our Jarls. We have a 5-4 in Northumberland, a 2-3, and a 4-6. In East Anglia. Okay, and then monsters, 2-1. A lot of monsters in Scandinavia. Okay, 4-5. There's a guy. Oh, a dragon's in Sussex. And 4-2. Kyauk. Okay, and that's it for turn. We go to turn 4. We'll roll again. Siegfried gets a 6. Brunhild gets a 1. And Ragnar gets a 4. So it'll go Siegfried, Ragnar, Brunhild. Ragnar is going to continue to recruit. So he'll pop over here. I think Ragnar will try to take Grendel out. I think we'll fight Grendel. And Brunhild will go over here and do another recruitment. Okay, so we're going to start with Siegfried. And should be pretty easy by this time. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 2. So easy difference. We not going to spend any luck points. And we get a 4, which is going to be a kill. Actually, there's almost nothing there that would do it. So Hengist is now a member of Siegfried's posse. Okay, we go down to Ragnar's going to fight Grendel. And Ragnar has a single luck point. I think I'm going to blow that to give me 0. And so we've got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 6. So difference of 4. We roll and we get a 6 with the difference of 4 is killed. So Grendel's been killed. And as reward, I think I'm gonna take, he's a troll, so 3 points of luck. And we can send him to the kill pile. Okay. And finally Brunhild is going to go here. And Hagen. Again, the differences are going to be greater than 5. I'm not going to spend any luck. Essentially, you don't even really have to roll for this. You could just say 4. That's going to make it. And she can add Hagen Das to her posse. Okay. Now, we're going to add our 4-1. We can add a 2-4. Sudergotland and 1-5. Okay. Monsters 4-4. Moored the Ghost in Wessex. We've got a 5-4. And we've got a 6-6. Okay. Everybody still has 0 glory. So we can end the turn there. Now then, we'll roll for everybody. Siegfried gets a 2. Brunhild gets a 2. All 3 got a 2. Okay, let's try it again. Siegfried gets a 5. Brunhild gets a 2. And Ragnar gets a 4. So we'll go Siegfried, Ragnar, Brunhild. He's got 2 of these guys. I don't think he's quite ready for a dragon yet. These guys move at 3, 1, 2, 3. They can't move that far. I could move up here and fight the troll. So we're going to do that. We're going to just fight the troll here. And it doesn't really tell you. I think you have to fight these guys together if you fight them both. So you can either fight them together or you can fight one. We're just gonna go with that. Just to make things interesting, let's go down to Atli and attack there, and then Brunhild will go down and attack Mord. Okay. So Ragnar's going to go after Hogshead. Let's pull his forces out here. And if you remember, Balmug is only good against those shirts. So we've got 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 6. So difference of 4. I'm going to need at least a 4. I'm going to add 2 luck points. We're going to go record sheet, and we're going to take our luck down to 1. And we're going to roll. And we get 6, 8. So that kills Hogshead. And Hogshead has a reward of 3. Okay. Okay, we go up to Siegfried. Now, with Siegfried's fighting a drow, so we're going to roll 1 on the spell chart, and we get a 5. Win. This spell works only if the person is cast, so we were going to roll again, and basically the Jarl and the hero and his Jarls have to move their full movement back to their starting countries, and they can't fight. So we roll. Now the Jarl has to roll a 3, or a 1, 2, or 3 for him to affect him. So he does. I don't know whether you roll for each one or not. I think I'm just going to roll them as a party. So they retreat, and the home country is Mordaland over here, and Hengist gets 2, 1, 2, so Hengist is stuck here. These 2 guys are stuck here, and then he's stuck here in Caledonia. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that makes sense here. Caledonia. Okay, down to Brunhild, and she's going to attack Mord. Now, ghosts just roll 1 die, and they have to get a 1, 2, or 3 for a spell. Got a 5, so the ghost doesn't do anything. I don't think she's going to add any luck to this, because I think she'll have the 5 points. So she's got 5, 7, 9. Yeah, that's going to get her 5 points. So we're just going to roll for a 5, and she kills the ghost. Okay. And I think I'm going to take it as glory points this turn. So a ghost is worth 2 points of glory. Okay, then now she gets to go first. So we'll give her 2 points of glory here. And that ends the combat movement. So now we can bring in our Jarls. 6-3. Way up here in Thule. 5-5. Okay. And 5-4 down here. Okay. Now, monsters, 6-4. I was complaining there wasn't much action over in England, but now it's getting to be kind of crazy. 4-1. I think it's down in Frankland, and another dragon. Okay, and where was our third one? 4-3. Out in Cornwall. Glom is out there. Okay. And that's the placement. So we can go to turn 6. Okay, moving into turn 6. we now know that Brunhild has the most glory. So we've got to roll between Siegfried and Ragnar. So Siegfried gets a 2, Ragnar gets a 2, Siegfried gets a 5, Ragnar gets a 6. So it's going to go Brunhild, Ragnar, Siegfried. And Siegfried's going to need to go through and pick his guys up again. Let's start with Brunhild. I think she's going to go down and hit Hoch. Ragnar will stay here and go after Hall. And Siegfried is going to pick up his guys, and they're going to meet up against Gunnar. Okay, so we're going to do our combats. Brunhild has a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so she's got the 5 plus. We need to do a kill, she needs at least 3. I'm going to spend 2 luck points, I think. Let's see if she's got 2 luck points. Oh, she only has 1. Okay. Let's spend it. So we're going to go with 0. And so we're going to add we're going to get a 2 for our die roll. And it's a 5 plus, so we wound Hoch. So Hoch is wounded. And with a wound of a, let's see, he's a troll. We get 1 point. So basically we're back to where we started. We can send him to the wound pile. Kind of a wasted turn. Then we're going to move over to Ragnar. I guess you really need to work on accumulating that luck. She should have probably done that instead of the glory. So with Ragnar, we've got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 6. There's our 5 difference. And how much luck does Ragnar have? Ragnar has 4 luck. If he kills him, that's a giant, he gets 3. Let's spend 1 luck point. And we're going to roll. And we get 7, so that's enough to kill Hall. Not Oates, but just Hall. And so we gain 3 luck points. So he's now at 6 luck points. And we're going to move him to the kill pile. So save up on luck. I guess that's the lesson. Okay, Amleth. Easy going to get the 5 plus. How about Amleth's luck? Amleth has, we'll spend a point of luck against a ghost, so we get a 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, and that's a kill. So Gunnar is killed, and Gunnar is worth 2 luck points. We'll take him. Okay, so that ends the movement combat. Now we go to we're going to add our no Jarls to add. We can roll for monsters. We get a 2/6. It's Scandia, a dragon, and dragon has a treasure. And that's it for the treasure. After that, all the dragons give 20 marks. 3/4 for a in Saxony, and 2/4 in Sudergotland. Okay, Brunhild gets to go first. That'll be followed by 5 for this guy, and Ragnar, oops, has a 4. So, okay. So Siegfried will go second, and then Ragnar will go. I think, man. There's monsters all over here, so I can't just take those. I'd have to defeat a dragon and then take him. going to go up here and try to take Glom. Here... I can still add a Jarl, so I'm going to go over here. 1, 2, I think. Oh, he's only got a 2. Oh, let's live brave. Let's go down to Atli, and then he's going to go after Ragnar can add a Jarl, so we're going to go and try to convert a Jarl here. Okay, Brunhild going against Glom. She's got her 5+. We just got to decide whether to spend that luck point. I'm not going to spend it. So we roll a 4 against Glom. And that's a kill. So Glom is killed. And we will definitely take his luck as a reward. So that's 2 points of luck. Breathe a little bit easier. So it gives us 3 points total. I'm going up here to Amleth, or to all these guys. Now they're up against a Drow, so they're going to roll on the spell table. And we get a 1. Haggle. This spell brings down hail and reduces the combat factor for each side. So basically we're at -1 for that's fine. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to 2, so 5+. Siegfried is going to spend a luck point and roll and gets a 6, so that's going to kill Atli. And with a Drow, the reward is 3 points of glory or 2 points of luck. Well, we'll take the 2 points of luck. And I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe just Siegfried's going to try to see what the gods tell him. So we're going to roll 1d6. We get a 2. Loki. Okay, god of luck and trouble. Not good. And then we roll again. And we get a 6. Loki grants the hero a point of luck for his or her daring. Well, woohoo. So that was worth the roll. Okay. Now, finally, over here, Ragnar will roll against a, whoops, flip him, Eric, his old friend Eric. And so basically, we get a 5+. Anything we roll is going to change this. So we're going to basically recruit him. We don't really need to roll that. Yeah, the only time that really matters is real early in the game. So, and we're going to take the luck, spend the luck, take the luck. Because I think Eric was at a, 3 points, so he just gave him 1. Okay, now we're at our monsters. Whoops. 3/3. Oh, another dragon. Oops, 3/3. Anglia has a dragon. 5/2. In Wales. And 4/3. Okay, there's a Drow. Man, a lot of spellcasters out there. We can roll against those guys and get 3 spells thrown against us. Okay. Brunhild has the... We go to turn 7. I think I'm actually on turn... No, that was turn 7, yeah. Okay, turn 7. Brunhild will go first. Siegfried rolls a 6, and Ragnar rolls. So it's going to go Brunhild, Siegfried, Ragnar. Do I go against the low-hanging fruit, or do I try to get some more glory? think I'll go against the low-hanging fruit here. We're going to go after Hawk. And then we're going to go here, 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 and here. And we're going to leave poor Hengist behind. I think we'll leave Hengist. Hengist eventually will have to guard someplace, so we'll do that. So we're going to go here and try to recruit. And then Ragnar is going to go quite a few nasties here. Ragnar's going to live dangerously and go over here. I think his guys all have to, yeah. And we're going to go against Aldring the dragon. So we're going to do that. Brunhild, we'll start with her. Again, we have the 5+, so we just got to determine if we want to spend some luck to get Hawk. I'll spend a luck point. And we roll, and we get a 2. Well, that's probably worth doing. So Hawk is wounded. He's wounded, so he goes to the pile, and whoops, what was he worth? He was worth 5 minus, so he gets 2 points of luck. So basically that takes us to 4. Yeah, we got a luck point out of the deal. Brunhild's going to appeal to the gods. And we roll a 5, and she Thor, and we roll a 6, and Thor says, honors a hero by eating with him or her, thus granting 2 points of glory. All right, gets to eat with Thor. So 4 points of glory for Brunhild. Ragnar, we will we'll flip this guy, and we're just going to go ahead and, oh, he gives us 2 points of luck, so we actually gained an extra point of luck. So 6 points. I could take a point of glory, but I'm going to stay with the luck. And that's Carl. Carl. I'll say Kari. Okay. Carl. Okay, and then down here, Ragnar the Red is going to go against Aldring the dragon. And he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so difference of 4. And we're going to add 3 points of luck and roll it. And so we get 9. Okay, that's enough with a 4 difference. 9 with a 4 kills the dragon. Kill the dragon, kill the dragon. And I'm going to take it as glory. So the dragon is worth 6 points of glory. And then he gets something. He gets a magic shirt. Wow. Magic, a Fruit of the Loom. Okay, so there's their magic shirt. I think I've got everything done here. So Brunhild now has 4 points of glory. Ragnar has 6 points of glory. And Siegfried doesn't have any glory. Yeah, he's gloryless. Okay. Add our monsters. And we're going to start with a 2-3. And a 1-3. And a 3-2. A lot of monsters in one area. Okay, and that ends the turn. Turn 8, so we'll start out with Ragnar. He's doing pretty good slaying dragons, so I think he's going to come down here and slay a dragon. Brunhild is going to come up here and take on Onund. And turfing, or not turfing, Siegfried, oh gosh. Hengist is kind of a, Hengist is a dingist. Gonna cross the ocean here. Okay. So we'll start with Ragnar. And Ragnar's going to fight Stigandi the dragon. Is it Stigandi or Stigandel? I'm not sure. I can't quite see that. He's got 11 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Difference of 3. Ragnar is going to spend... 2 luck points and roll. Gets a 2, so that's a 4. And a 4 and 3. Let's see. 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, flee. Not good. I should have spent more. And flee means they have to go back to their home country. Let me just check my little charts here. Okay, so the attacker has to flee. Attacker must immediately move away from the defender at maximum speed in the direction of the defender's choice. If the defender is not a player, then the attacker moves towards the hero's home country. If the attacker is in the hero's country, okay, so got to move. I don't think he loses any guys, but he does lose some glory. And basically, if you fleeing battle, they lose 2 points of glory. Okay. So let's take his 2 points of glory first. That takes him down to 4. And his Scandia is his home country, so he can go here, 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 and here. And that's, so that ends that. Okay. And then Brunhild is going to go after Onund. She's got her 5 points. We'll just roll it. I'm not going to spend any luck. She gets a 1. Okay, so 1 and 5 is a flee. So the monster flees. And I think a fleeing monster doesn't give me anything, but she's removed from the board. Okay. Or the monster. Onund is removed from the board. So, whoops. Basically count that as a wound. And she has cleared this, so she can... Next turn, she can go after these guys. Okay, I think that's going to end the movement and combat. So we can go to bringing in monsters. 6-3. More in Thule. We've got 1-2. Trondheim and 3-5. Rhineland. Okay. And that's it for monsters, so we won't have to keep pulling monsters until we get some wounded and move them back. Okay, glory is, and that's, oh, end of turn? Make turn 9. Sometimes I forget my turn numbers. Ragnar has a 4, and Brunhild has a 4, so we're going to have to roll between those. Ragnar rolls a 3, Brunhild rolls a 6, so Brunhild gets to go first, and she's going to stay here and recruit, or find out who these guys are. Flip and flip. Okay. He's going to go over here. And 1, 2. And I might have to build up some luck points. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to go after Trugreer. So we'll start with Brunhild. I guess I should have moved him, but that's okay. She's got a 3 and a 2. I'll try to recruit... She's going to try to recruit Gretter. And if she does, she's going to let Hagen go. So I guess you can do that. You just do the whole luck thing. Basically, you don't even have to roll. You just say, hey, this guy is going back to the, we'll say wound, and we'll send him back. He should go back to the counter. Yeah, he'll go back there. And Gretter will now be her guy. We need to get rid of Hagen and put her on Gretter. Okay. Sometimes you just kind of have to play this by ear. He can't move very well, but that's okay. Okay, over here, we're going to go against Halbjorn, the troll. And let's see, Siegfried's, what's his luck look like? He's got 6 luck points. Let's give him to, let's go with 5. We'll spend a luck point, so we get 4. And we have at least 5 plus. I'm pretty sure 4, that's a kill, so. Yeah, let's double check. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so there's our, pretty much all these attacks get 5 plus. So Halborn is gone. He's killed, and a troll is worth 3 luck points. So Siegfried is going to get 8 luck points. And then down here, he's going after Trugreer, the ghost. Ragnar has a luck point. We'll keep the luck point. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Easy. So we'll just roll it, and we get a 1. And that's a flea, so with a monster, he just goes bye-bye. He just goes back to the wound. And that's the turn for Ragnar. He doesn't get anything, though. That's the downside. Okay, this guy is gone, this guy's gone. So all the movement and combat have occurred. We're going to add our monsters, which I said we didn't have any, but we do now. 4-4. Wessex. Trugreer comes back over there. And 6-1. Oh, Trugreer was the only one. Okay. And then we can go to turn 10. Okay, turn 10. Ragnar and Siegfried are still, or Ragnar and Brunhild are still tied on glory. She's got a 4. Ragnar's got a 4, so we'll roll. Ragnar gets a 3. Brunhild gets a 5. So Brunhild gets to go first. It'll go Brunhild, Ragnar, and then Siegfried. Whoops. Brunhild needs her a dragon, so she's going to go down here. 1, 2. Let's see if everybody can move 3. Oh, he can only move 2. Hold on, we can go 1, 2. We'll just flip him to show that he's not being used. And we're going to go after the dragon Galerion. He's going to stay put and go after against the old geezer here. And then he is going to go back up to Mordenline and take on Fafnir. A lot of dragon fighting and bringing Hengist. Okay, we'll start with Brunhild. And 15. So they got a difference of 5. And record sheet, let's take off 3 luck points. We roll and we get a 2, so we get a 5. With a difference of 5 is a kill, so Galerian the dragon is gone. The reward for a dragon is 5 luck points. She'll take it, I think. That gets her 6 luck points. And she gets the Volsung necklace. Now the Volsung necklace, worth 20 marks. It can be traded for any item in a dragon's hoard. So basically you can go up there and say, hey, here, or you can sell it. Let's see. There's only one dragon. Oh, I've got this. Okay, I'll keep it. And we'll use it here in just a turn. Can't remember where that dragon was. Was he in Sussex? I think he was in Sussex. So. Okay. Now we'll go with Ragnar. And Geezer is going to not. Let's go ahead and see what Geezer's spell is. Geezer's spell is 5. Win. 1, 2, or 3. They have to go back to their home country. Okay. 6. They don't. Okay. They can fight then. I'm not going to spend any luck points because I think we can easily take. Well, how much luck do I have? Got 1 luck point. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to spend it. Okay, so we've got the 5+. We roll a 5, and a 5 is going to be a kill against Geezer. And we're going to take the luck again. Drow luck is 2. Okay, and then up here against Fafnir. Fafnir's kind of tough. We've got 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So got our 5+. To kill Fafnir, I'm going to need at least a 3. So if I add 2 luck points, it's an auto kill. Let's see, record sheet. He's got 8. Okay, yeah, let's do it. 6 and should be 6. Oh, well, yeah, that was. And so Fafnir is eliminated. And the reward for Fafnir is going to be, we're going to take the glory, 6 glory points. Okay. I think, was that, I think it was here. Okay. There's some Jarls here. Let's go with 2, 3. And that's it for the turn. So we go to turn 11. Now, I think everybody's got 6. He's got 6. Siegfried's got 6 glory. Ragnar's got 4 glory. And Brunhild has 4 glory. So it's going to go Siegfried first, and then let's roll for Brunhild has a 1 and he's got a 6. Okay, so it's going to go Siegfried, Ragnar, Brunhild. Where is the glory? Well, one, 2. He could go to Jutland and go after Stigandi. 1, 2. We're going to go that way. Ragnar is going to go, seeing what he's going to try to do, he's going to go here and try to take Stigandi. And Brunhild is going to go down and try to take Istvan. Okay, so Siegfried didn't do anything. Ragnar is against Stigandi or Stigandel. Let's see, so 11, difference is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so difference of 3. Better use up some 2 points of luck. And we get a 4 with a difference of 3. 4 with a difference of 3. Wounded the dragon. So the dragon is wounded, so he basically has, we can either use it as 5 points of luck or 5 points of glory. I'll take the luck. And then down here, Brunhild. I actually think I'll do the whole, with her, I think I'll put her here and do the Volsung necklace thing. You have to be adjacent. So we will just do that. And we will take the dragon's horde. And we get Frey Faxi, the horse, so she can move at twice the rate. I think it's like 4. She can move because she's got 2. So okay, so she's done her thing, and you don't get anything with it. So yeah, we'll just do that just to show how that works. Okay, end of turn. We've still got a 3/2 for a 3/2 for this guy. He didn't move very far. He just went across. He moved over 1. Oh my gosh, this is going to be insane here. Okay, and that ends the turn. Now we go to turn 12. Siegfried still has the advantage, and then we go Ragnar, and we got to roll for Ragnar. He gets 4, and Brunhild gets a 2. So it's going to go Siegfried, Ragnar, Brunhild. Siegfried is going to move here in an attempt to fight Ragnar. I think Ragnar is going to go down here, and it's not really fleeing, it's just moving away expeditiously, and then Brunhild's going to go here. Okay, so Siegfried's stuck doing nothing. Should have probably moved into this hex. Ragnar is going to go after Hjalborn. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, difference of 4. And Ragnar is going to spend 2 points of luck. So he gets a 3 with a difference of 4. 3 with a difference of 4 is a wound. So again, we wound this guy. And I don't remember whether it says whether the treasure's there or not. I'm going to say that we're going to return it to deck just to keep things interesting here. Okay. Over here, Brunhild is going to go again. And difference is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 to 9, so difference of 5. She's got a, we'll spend 2 points of luck. And we roll. So we get a 6, and that'll take care of Istvan and give us the necklace back. Okay. So Istvan the dragon is gone. Now she's got to decide whether to use the luck or the glory. I think we'll use the glory. So dragons were 6 points. So she's now got 10 points of glory. And that ends the turn. Okay. So We get a 5/3 for this dragon. And we're going to give his treasure. He's going to take his treasure with him. We'll just, it's kind of hard to determine whether that's the case or not, but we'll go with that. Okay. We go to turn 13. Brunhild gets to go first, and I think she'll go ahead and claim this guy as Herald, as her guy. And we'll just do the luck thing. Second is Siegfried. Siegfried's going to move into this space and take Stigandi. And Ragnar is going to go after Hawk. So Brunhild does her thing. Siegfried's going to go after Stigandi. Stigandel. That's bothering me. Let's just pop in here and see. I guess it's an I. That's an I. Yeah, it's hard to say. Oh well. Oops. Okay, Siegfried has a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He's got, we're going to spend 2 points of luck. Whoops, make that 4. And roll, and 8, so that's going to take care of Stigandi. And we're going to take that as a glory for the dragon. So 6 points of glory, giving him 12 points of glory now. So he's now in the lead up. Okay, and then finally Ragnar is easy 5+, and we're just not gonna spend any luck on that on the Hawk, and we get a 1. Well, we should have spent the luck. So causes Hawk to flee, so he goes 1. Oh, I think monsters, when they flee, monsters fleeing. Monster, defender flees, defender immediately moves. Okay, yeah. Only if wounded will a monster. So he can move there. Okay. And monster placement. Any counters? Nothing to count. Okay, so that's the end of turn. We go to turn 14. Brunhild is in Ragnar, or Siegfried's first, so Siegfried is going to attack Ragnar. I think if he's being attacked, Ragnar shouldn't be able to leave. And then Brunhild's going to go over to Amorica and essentially attack Amorica. 5, 6. How much does she have? Okay, so let's do first of all, we'll do the Ragnar battle here. Let's okay, so Siegfried is attacking, and I'll say Ragnar is going to attack back after Siegfried attacks. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so Siegfried gets a 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ragnar has so this will be 17 because of the magic shirt. 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So difference of 3. And Siegfried is going to put 3 luck on it. Okay, so Siegfried rolls a difference of 3, rolls a 5. And that's killed. So Ragnar is out of the running. So Ragnar's done with. I don't think you get anything that Ragnar had. Let's check it real quick here. Let's see. Slaying other heroes. They receive glory or luck equal to 1/2 the combat factor of the Jarl. Rounded down. Okay. And I'm not going to... I'd say the Jarls just disperse. So... Ragnar had... Let's see. What's worth the most? Ragnar had 4 glory or 4 luck. Let's take his 2 glory. And now we can eliminate Ragnar. Record, whoops. We can kill him off. And then these guys just go back to the pool. Whoops. And then they get a sword. We get to gain the sword. And a magic shirt. We get that. Okay. So Siegfried takes all that. We're down to 2. Okay, Brunhild is going to attack Amorica, and she doesn't really need to spend any luck or anything. She just has to make a roll, and she automatically gets it because she's got 5 points. So now Amorica is in her hands. Amorica the Beautiful. And she gets 10 gold pieces for it. Okay. At that point, we check our counters. We can place 2 Jarls, one at 5/5. And one at 1/3. Okay. And that's the turn. Okay, turn 15. Brunhild has a glory of 10. Siegfried has a glory of 14. So Siegfried gets to go first. And I think, let's see, who can move? They can only move 2 if he moves with all these Jarls. Let's just attack Hayden. Brunhild is going to go over here. She's going to leave... these 2 of her Jarls there. And I think she's going to attack Frankland. Okay. So let's start with Siegfried. Siegfried's attacking a witch. So we get 2 spells. Let's see what they are. 4 and a 6. 4 is need. Makes combat result an automatic nothing. And a 6 is ear. To be wounded. Oh, it wounds all these guys. Okay. Ouch, that's going to hurt. So we'll start with a 1, 2, or 3. Gets a 2. So basically, no combat can be applied. And then if a person is cast against rolls of 1, 2, or 3, it causes all counters in the area, except face-down Jarls or monsters, to be wounded. 5. Okay, Siegfried can breathe a sigh of relief. Even though he can't attack, he didn't lose all his Jarls. So, and Brunhild will attack here against Frankland, and I think she's got a 5. So 8, 9, hold on a second. 5, 8, 9, 10, 12 against 8. So it's a difference of 4. she'll just roll it 3. And that works against it. So Frankland is now in her grasp. Okay. Now, at this point, we can collect tax. I think the turn sequence is collect the taxes. So she gets 8 more gold. And Gretter over here gets 10. It's not in her treasury, but that's okay. Okay, any monsters countered? Okay, we got a Jarl. 2-1. Got a Jarl up here. Okay. And that's the turn. Next turn, we'll go to Siegfried. That witch could be pretty dangerous. We're going to go 1, 2. Brunhild. Is going to leave this guy here, and she's going to go... I think she used Freyfaxi once already, so I'm going to go... We'll go up here and attack Trogreer. We'll leave Wieland, or Wieland will go with her, and Harold will go over here. Okay. So we've got a combat with Brunhild against Trogreer. She's easily got the 5 plus, I think. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. The only question is, does she use a luck point? Oh, she's only got 1. Nope, we're not going to do it. So we're going to just roll. We get a 1. And with the 5, that's a flea. So he moves up here. No points. Okay. So now Harold is going to get 8 points of gold. Gretter is going to get 10 points of gold. And that would end the turn. We go to turn 17. Siegfried is got his, he can move his 2, I think. Yeah. Okay. And then she's going to move down here and pick up and go 1, 2, 3. And so we can transfer gold. So she gets 8 more. Plus she picks up from Gretter for 20 more. And Siegfried's done his thing. Okay. And I think she's going to sell her necklace for 20. That's 58 gold. And that ends the movement and actions. And then we can do our taxes. And he's going to get 10 more. And then she's going to get 8 more because she's in her 58, 64. No, 66. Okay. Any counters? No counters to come back in. Okay. Siegfried with his glory still 14. He's going to move against Hjalbern. And then she's going to move against Gerdic. Okay, Gerdic the Witch. Okay. Siegfried against Halbert. So he's got a 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And Balmug, what is... Oh, Balmug's just used against... Okay. 14 against... Wait, let me get that again. Sorry about that, folks. 1, 2, 3, 8... 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so plus 5, and Siegfried is going to spend 2 points of luck. And we get a 3. Killed Halbert, okay? So we'll kill him, and we'll flip this, and we get a mail coat. And I'll take the glory from the dragon. It's at 6 points. At least I'm making it to Valhalla now. Game's pretty much over, I think. Siegfried's going to have to just make some small attacks to... Well, hold on. I got an idea. Okay. Then here, Brunhild is going to go against Gerdrick. Gerdrick has 2 spells, and a 6 and a 3. Ear, it wounds the counters, and then followed by a 3, which is Jara. All the areas lose their next turn. Oh, man. Okay. 6. Brunhild doesn't take anything. I think she's going to appeal to the gods, though. Oh, she's got to attack first. And then she can appeal to the gods. Okay, she's got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Record sheet. Luck is 2. I don't think she's going to spend the luck. And she rolls a 3. So she kills Gerdrick. And with the witch, she gets a reward of 5 glory. We just want to go for the glory right now. 15, okay, and then she's going to appeal to the gods. She rolls a 5. A 5, she appeals to Thor again. Well, he had dinner with her earlier. And she gets a 3. Now, Thor at this time decides the hero deserves no reward. Well... Okay, and then these guys get to collect 8. And record sheet 10. Okay. Okay, and that would be the end of turn. I don't think there's any counters. Nope. Okay. We go to turn 18. Siegfried is going to do what he does best. He's going to attack Brunhild. So I'm going to say she's stuck defending. Magic shirts aren't going to help unless she attacks back. Okay, so he's got a 5, 7, 8, 10, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and she's got a 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So she's got her 5 plus, or he's got his 5 plus, but he's going to go for broke and use his luck point and roll a 3. So he gets a 4. And with a 4, he kills Brunhild. So she dies. And he gets her... Oh, you don't get the treasure from another... well, let's see. Let's double check. You do get half their glory. I don't think you get their treasure, though. If I remember right, let me go check. I usually rewrite all these. Yeah, those are their treasure, so I don't think they get that. But he does get half of her glory or luck, whichever one you want. Well, we're just going to take her glory. So she had a glory of 15, so he gets 7 points of glory. And so he gets a glory of 27. And he's eliminated all the competition. So essentially, he's won the game. Anyway, there you go. Like I say, the rules on this are a little bit shaky. There's a lot of times where you just kind of have to fly by the seat of your pants to figure this out. But I don't know. It's kind of a fun little game. I kind of like it. I certainly would play it again. I think I bought this back when I was in like a sophomore in high school. That was kind of in the days when TSR was at its peak. And they were putting out these little micro games that were fun. We used to take them to high school and sit around the library in the morning. We get there about 45 minutes early and play as many turns as we could, and then sometimes try to play during lunch a little bit. So it was kind of fun. Those were kind of interesting days. But anyway, that's what I got. I appreciate you guys watching, and we will talk to you later. Bye.